I think this is the first time we have real hardware of something that is capable, with a little evolution, of being something that could create a self-sustaining city on Mars and a base on the moon.
And
absolutely.
You said tonight that you might be flying people in a year in this thing?
If the development continues to improve exponentially, then I think we could be sending people to orbit before the end of next year. You know, within a year approximately.
But SpaceX hasn't put a human in space yet. How are you guys going to do this in a year?
Well, we will be putting people into orbit soon. We will be transporting astronauts for NASA in probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 months to the space station.
Yeah, on that point, NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine tweeted yesterday saying that he was very excited about the event today, but he also said, quote, commercial crew is years behind schedule and it's time to deliver. Did you take that?
Did you say commercial crew or SLS?
He said commercial crew.
Oh, okay, geez.
I mean, interchangeable. No, but how do you respond to that? And did you take that as a dig?
Well, I mean, first of all, everything in aerospace is years behind, okay? It's really a question of, relatively speaking, which one is more late. So the hardware for the high-altitude abort demonstration for Crew Dragon will be there in October. The hardware for the first crewed flight will be there in November. And so most of the work that is required from now through flight of NASA astronauts is a long series of safety reviews. So it's not really hardware related, and it's really going as fast as we can make it go. If there's some way to make it go fast, I would make it go faster.
Let's talk about funding. You've said in the past that Starship would cost between $2 and $10 billion. You still looking at that price tag?
I think it's
you
actually...
laugh.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big range. I mean, I think it's probably closer to 2 or 3 than it is to 10.
Is that because of the switch to steel?
The switch to steel is fundamental. You know, I think that's literally that might be the best design decision I've ever made. I can't think of a better one. The steel is lighter than the carbon fiber solution, or lighter than an aluminum lithium solution, and costs 2% as much. So,
in hindsight, do you wish that you would use steel?
Absolutely, a no-brainer.
The climate crisis. We've seen protests all over the globe this month, mostly led by young people like Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
Does the public outcry, does that increase the urgency for what you guys are doing here?
Well, I mean, I really view what we're doing here as making life multiplanetary as opposed to escaping Earth. I think like 99% of our resources should be on making sure that the future on Earth is good. But I think at least 1% of our resources should be on making life multiplanetary and extending consciousness out to other planets, both for the defensive reason of preserving the light of consciousness into the future, as well as the adventure, the excitement. I find personally more motivating than the defensive argument.
So you prefer to be an optimist rather than a pessimist?
I mean, I think excitement and adventure and a sense of possibility about the future are incredibly important. Otherwise, why live?